Hey everyone, it's Angela. Today I actually wanted to talk about why I got my wisdom teeth out. I realized that in my other video I didn't really talk about why I got them out while I have braces, and then also like my experience and what happened afterwards and all of that. So today I was just gonna touch on that, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I try to get back to everybody that reaches out. So anyways, so I've had my wisdom teeth for a while, obviously, and it wasn't until I got my braces that they really started to bother me. And the dentist always said, you know, if they don't bother you, there's no reason to go through with the surgery. And I actually had 4 impacted wisdom teeth. My wisdom teeth were literally like this against my other teeth, and they were under the gums, which is what impacted means. They were under the gums. And so I couldn't just like have local anesthetic. And when I got my braces on and things started shifting, I think they started to mess around with my wisdom teeth, and then they got like, one of them got infected, and it was the worst pain I've ever felt. Like, it was a shooting pain up into my ear, and like throbbing, and it would just like come and go. And so that's when I decided to get my wisdom teeth out, and I did a lot of research and was ready to go through with it, scheduled the appointment and everything, and my orthodontist said it would be fine to do with braces on. It's better to do before, but if you have to do it while you have them, it's totally fine. So with all that said, scheduled the appointment, and then I'm talking to my mom, and my mom tells me, oh, you could get nerve damage, and starts like talking about all these things. I'm like, what? I had no idea that I could get nerve damage. So then I'm freaking out, and I'm like worried that I'm gonna get nerve damage, because the older that you get, the deeper the roots of the wisdom teeth are. The nerve damage is something that rarely happens, like 1% chance of it happening. But when you're older, it's a bigger chance of it happening because your roots are deeper. And so then I was like freaking out about that, but I knew I had to get it done, because if I didn't get it done, then when my braces come off, would my teeth shift, and then I spent all this money, and you know, so I ended up going through with it. And the day of, it was like super fast, and I don't really remember anything, but afterwards it sucked. It's awful. People told me that it would be done in like 2 or 3 days, and it lasted way longer than that. Like, the pain and the recovery, it lasted probably, I would say, 7 days, and I wasn't fully healed until like 3 months later, which I guess is rare. But so what happened with my surgery, so the day of, I went in, that was totally fine. They take you to the bag, they give you the laughing gas and the medicine to put you to sleep, and then you wake up and your teeth are gone, and they have like your head wrapped up and stuff. And then afterwards we come home, and my husband took care of me, and that's when like it really was awful. Like, your mouth just feels disgusting, and it's just like, it's not a good feeling. It wasn't really painful, I would say, but they said the next day would be the most painful. So then come the second day, my cheeks were just so swollen, and I was so hot, like my face was swollen, and I felt like I had a fever or something. And then the third day was really bad, and I would say the fourth day I was still a little swollen, but my mouth was just so gross. Like, I couldn't really brush my teeth. I just had to really lightly do it, because I also have braces, so I wanted to make sure that I kept them clean. So that was awful. And then just I don't know, you feel kind of gross afterwards, and just your mouth is nasty. And for me, you know, I was worried about the nerve damage, and then I think it was my right side was still numb. You know, when you get a shot to remove a tooth, that's what it felt like it was still numb from that. And this was like 5 days later, so I was worried that I had nerve damage, obviously, even though it's rare. So then I had my office visit after a week, and it was still numb, and I told him about it, and he did a little test, and he said it should come back, but it probably took like 2 or 3 months for me to get full filling back into my chin right here. And I think what happened is this was the side that was bothering me, and I think what happened was this this the root of this tooth was on a nerve, so when he pulled it out, I think that it must have hit the nerve, which is something that could happen, and that when it hit the nerve, it takes a while for it to like kind of fully come back, and that's why I was still feeling numb. So then so I wasn't fully healed for at least 2 months. And I think the people that told me that it would take just a few days, theirs weren't impacted. And I didn't even think, I thought everybody's were impacted, so I didn't even think that that's why their recovery was so short. So if you're thinking about getting your wisdom teeth out, I would suggest to do it, but just know, like, if they're impacted, it's going to be painful, it's going to suck, and it's going to be more like a 7-day recovery. At least for me it was. And I think that also depends on your age. I was older and my roots were fully developed, so if you're younger, I think maybe the recovery might be less. But that was just my experience, and I wanted to share that with you guys. So if you have any questions, definitely feel free to reach out, and I will answer any of those.